Jake Paul took to Twitter to side with Conor Ben over this supposed rehydration clause controversy for this proposed fight with Chris Eubank Jr. As you can see, he said Conor Ben dirty because he doesn't want Chris Eubank to have a massive size advantage fight night. No, just wants a fair/safe fight. Rackman can weigh in at any weight fight night. 200 pounds weigh in, 214 at noon fight day, any weight fight night. Stop making excuses. Hashtag double standards. Now, of course, Jake Paul is referring to the fact that his fight against Hasim Rahman is going to have a rehydration clause for the morning of the fight, but then Rahman can weigh whatever he likes on fight night, when he gets in the ring. I don't know whether that's going to be the case for Eubank Jr. Conor Ben if that fight actually does happen. But Eubank Jr. responded to Jake Paul by saying, yo, Jake Paul, once I deal with Ben and you take care of Rahman, how about me and you go a couple of rounds? I'll come in at 160, you come in at whatever weight you want. Winner gets Canelo. And don't worry, I ain't no Tommy Fury. If I say I'm going to do something, it gets done. Now, I got to laugh at that. Not because he's talking about fighting Jake Paul, because, Maris Breedis was talking about fighting Jake Paul. Everybody wants the bag. We get it. But the fact that he said winner gets Canelo. Look, I like the Eubank show, but is he being serious here? Can he honestly believe that the winner of him and Jake Paul would get the Canelo fight? Come on. Jake Paul's been talking about fighting Canelo. Realistically, that's not going to happen anytime soon. Will it happen years down the line when Canelo's close to retirement? Who knows? Boxing's a crazy sport. But in terms of the immediate future, you're not going to get a Canelo Alvarez-Jake Paul fight. Canelo Alvarez is trying to make legitimate history in boxing. He's not trying to fight YouTubers right now. So for Chris Eubank Jr. to come out and say something like this, it's utterly bizarre. Again, is he just trolling? Is he just saying this tongue-in-cheek? Or does he genuinely think in his head that it's realistic for the winner of him and Jake Paul to get a Canelo fight right after? You guys let me know what you think in the comments below. And what do you feel about him calling for the Jake Paul fight? At the end of the day, Jake Paul is taking sides with regards to this dispute between Eubank Jr. and Conor Ben. So I guess it's fair game for Eubank Jr. to come back and say something. But to offer him out in the ring and say, yo, come fight me. And of course, I guess the point he's making is he is a smaller guy than Jake Paul. So he's trying to prove that when he fights a bigger guy, he doesn't need a rehydration clause. He doesn't need a catch weight. He'll fight you at your natural weight. I guess that's, the point that Eubank Jr. is making. Would he really go through with a fight against Jake Paul, or is he just tweeting to, again, make that point? You guys let me know what you think in the comments section below. But if he is serious about fighting Jake Paul, again, I can't hate because it's a money fight. And what other fights is Eubank Jr. going to really get at this particular point? Because he's not getting the Golovkin fight right now. Golovkin's fighting Canelo. He's not going to get the Canelo fight. Haven't heard anything about Charlo. Doesn't seem to be able to get any of the other champions at 160. So what's he going to do at this stage? All you can do is try and take other fights for big money. And Jake Paul would be a big fight. So watch this space. And of course, even the Conor Ben fight, that doesn't do anything for Chris Eubank Jr.'s legacy. I know in the eyes of a lot of nostalgic British boxing fans, they're going to think it might. But when all's said and done, he's fighting a welterweight if the Conor Ben fight takes place. He's fighting a welterweight. He's not fighting somebody who is native to his own division. So realistically, when sensible heads look back at Eubank Jr.'s career when it's all said and done, they're not going to look at the Conor Ben fight and think, oh yeah, that was a great one for him. No. But in terms of making money, this is prize fighting at the end of the day. I get it. And I'm not going to begrudge him too much when he doesn't have any other opportunities. You know, this is not like a champion who could fight a number of top contenders, but instead he's taken on a guy from 2 weight divisions below who's never even fought for a title. This ain't like that. This is a guy who's a contender at middleweight who doesn't really have any other doesn't really have any other options out there with regards to world title fights, because he is in his early 30s now, Chris Eubank Jr. So he needs to be striking now. He needs to be getting those world title fights now. And if they're not forthcoming, then hey, if he wants to make a bit of money fighting a Conor Benn, maybe even a Jake Paul, I can't hate on that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you're tired of the biased narratives and mass censorship on mainstream platforms, and you want to be part of a community of critical thinkers who love free speech just as much as you do, then come and join me on Patreon and access my weekly no-holds-barred, censorship-free podcast where we lift the lid on a wide variety of controversial topics. It's not mainstream friendly, it's not politically correct, but that's the whole point. We dare to stand as a beacon of reason against an army of insanity. Just head on over to my Patreon page and select the tier called Hatman Hot Topics. You'll gain access to a minimum of 2 hours of exclusive content every single week, including podcasts, videos, interviews, live stream Q&As, as well as my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. Not to mention a vast back catalog of hundreds of hours of previous episodes. You can listen via the Patreon app with the option to download in high quality MP3. We've also got an Element group where you can come and chat and hang out with myself and other members. Unlike Discord, it has full end-to-end encryption, is decentralized, and is 100% censorship free. You can also send voice notes as well as much larger audio and video files than you can on Discord. So come and sign up on Patreon. There's no contract, there's no commitment, you can cancel at any time, and it's cheaper than a cup of coffee. So I'll see you over there. I'm out.